In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace your wheel cylinder on your Chevy Colorado. It's located behind your rear wheels. Remove your hubcap with a pry bar. There's little notches in there, you can stick it under. Using a 19mm socket, we're going to take off our wheel. Remove your wheel. We're going to take out this plug. And behind this plug is an adjuster. You're going to need a tool like this to unadjust the drum so we can take the drum off. You're going to stick it in there. And you're going to spin the wheel up so that this is going down. When you do that, you're unadjusting it. I've unadjusted this drum completely. I have the adjuster backed off completely, and it still won't come off, so that probably means there's a big ridge of rust around my drum, so I'm going to pull it off after I hit it a few times with a sledgehammer. If you're going to hit the drum with a sledgehammer, you need to put your lug nuts on so you don't hit your studs by accident. Well, you might anyways, but at least they won't damage the studs. So you can feel those drums, that drum has a ridge. That's why it's not coming off. So, that seems better. So now I'm going to take off my lug nuts. Another helpful hint is if you don't know which way to go with your adjuster, because it could be kind of confusing, if you're moving the wheel, you can just spin your drum to see if there's any tension. And if you can't move your drum, you're going the wrong way. So you want to back it off completely so that it's loose when you spin the drum on the axle. Now you can take this off, and right here is the wheel cylinder, and we're going to begin to replace that. Let's clean this up so we can see what we're doing. We're going to be dealing with the top part only. To undo the spring, we're going to use some wire cutters. Grab a hold of it. And you can even unhook it from the other side if it's not coming out. Gonna let that hang. I'm gonna see how much I can get out of this. See if I can squeeze that wheel cylinder out without having to take too much apart. So you want to make sure you have enough give in your drum shoes. So you can, after you unbolt it from the back, you can take it out and just put the new one in. The less you take apart, the better off you're going to be. So let's try it with just taking that one spring out, and we'll go to the back. I'm going to use a 10mm line wrench to disconnect this line from the wheel cylinder. I'm going to shock it loose because ours is pretty rusty. Make sure that when you're loosening this line, that line is moving individually, so it's not moving with that fitting. We'll just continue to take that line out of the wheel cylinder. We're almost there. Looks like we're good. Yep. And now we're going to take out these two bolts. We're going to do that with an 8mm socket. Start with the one furthest away. before I take that out completely, I'm going to loosen my other one. Take this out the rest of the way. And go back to the one we started with. And take that one out the rest of the way. Set your bolts aside. And now we're going to take out our wheel cylinder. To do that, we're going to go in the front and we're going to pull it away. You're going to use a pry bar and you're going to pull the shoe away. And then take it out completely. Remove this plug first. And as you can see, it's got a certain way to go in. Bolt holes go down. The bleeder is up. You're going to pull away this shoe and get that other shoe in there. Push that shoe away. And fit it into the space. You may have to turn your cylinder where the feet of the shoe fit into the cylinder. You may have to turn them so that it lines up. To do that, you're going to use a screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and just turn it. Make sure the shoe lines up. And do the same on the other side. Now you're going to insert your line into the wheel cylinder. And you're going to get that line started, if you can. So just get that line started. And once you're in there a few threads, we're going to move to the bolts. So that's good for us. And now we're going to move this around a little bit till the holes line up for the bolts. When they do, get those bolts started. Tighten those down. So you want to snug it and go about 1/4 of a turn. Tighten those up. And now we're going to continue tightening down our line. Make sure it's pretty tight. Same thing, snug it up, go about another 1/4 of a turn. Now we're going to clean up and put our drums back together. Now we're going to move our adjuster back in its place. You're going to pull it towards you. Make sure it's seated over here. And there's a notch that goes deeper, and there's a notch that doesn't go as deep. Make sure that that deeper notch is where the shoe is, and the one that isn't as deep is where this clip is. The little arm that I was talking about when we were unadjusting the shoes. Now we're going to hook our spring up, take it off of where it was. Hook your spring up to this little arm. Just make sure you're lined up right. I'm going to grab the spring. And I'm going to pry, put it over there. Now we're going to make sure everything's working correctly. Before putting your drum back on, it's a good idea to clean this up. Make sure your adjuster spins freely and everything's lined up the way it should be. And all your springs are back where they belong. Clean that off. You can spray down your drum as well. After that dries, you can put some anti-seize just on this hub. And now we can put our drum on. It should be fairly easy to get on because the shoes are completely unadjusted. I am going to put one lug nut on just to hold it there. So while we adjust it, it doesn't come out as you're spinning it. So right now, get a feel for how it feels unadjusted. And we're gonna start spinning the wheel the other way. And we're gonna wait till it to get some resistance. Now we're gonna adjust our drum back on. I'm gonna use your tool, your brake tool, or if you can, maybe a screwdriver could work. And you're just gonna push the wheel the opposite direction. So push it down towards the floor, the wheel itself. And if you don't hear that clicking, your adjuster isn't in there right, or you're going the wrong way. Depending on how much you had to back it off, will depend on how much you got to readjust it. So if you only had to go a couple of spins, then you're probably only going to have to go a couple of spins the other way. So I'm going to give that a feel. I'm hearing a little bit of drag. I'm going to keep going. There's a little bit of drag there. I'm going to go a tiny bit more. But this car, you can actually hear it because it's pretty rusty. It's almost there. So that feels pretty good. It's got a good drag to it. Now we're going to put our rubber plug back in. Push it right in. Make sure you do that. That keeps the dirt out of there. And if you need to clean it off, take off your lug nut. And the process is the same on the other side, if you need to do it. Make sure you bleed your brakes afterwards. You can try doing a gravity bleed first. You're going to loosen up that bleeder screw. Then we're going to wait for the brake fluid to come out. You might see some air bubbles at first. We're gonna wait for a steady stream. Make sure you have a drip pan below. And we're waiting for a steady stream without air bubbles or a steady drip. This looks pretty good. I'm not really seeing any bubbles. And that's the steady stream I'm looking for. I'm gonna close this down. And tighten it down. Let's clean it off and put our cap back on. Put your wheel on. Tighten your lug nuts in a crisscross manner. Make sure you walk the wheel on with the bottom one. Now you can torque your wheel. Using a 19mm socket, we're going to torque our wheels to 103 foot-pounds in a crisscross manner. Put your hubcap back on, line it up, give it a couple whacks. Make sure you have a drip pan for the old brake fluid. Wipe the cap, remove the cap, and let's siphon out the brake fluid. I'm using a plunger type siphon. Make sure there's no filter inside. Fill it up to the max. There's a line right here, little arrow, and replace the cap. Brake bleed procedure goes like this: right rear first, then the left rear, then the right front, and then the left front. Halfway through, we're gonna check the master cylinder and make sure it's at level where it needs to be and refill it if necessary. We're gonna start by removing our bleeder screw cap and getting an 8mm wrench ready to go. I also have something to catch the fluid. You either need a drip pan or something like this. I have somebody in the vehicle ready to pump up the brakes for me. So let's begin. Pump it up, please. They're holding the pedal down. I'm gonna put this on top. I'm gonna loosen the bleeder screw. He's gonna let me know when the pedal hits the ground, and then we'll repeat the process until all the air is bled out of the system. It's to the floor. We're gonna close it down. We're gonna pump it up. He's holding. I'm gonna crack it open. It's to the floor. I'm going to close it down. I'm not seeing any air, so I'm going to move on to the next wheel. As soon as I tighten this down and clean my area. Make sure you clean the area. Let it drip dry. And then replace your cap on the bleeder screw. Now we're going to move to our left rear. We're going to top it off. Take your cap off. Fill it up to the max. There's a line right here, little arrow, and replace the cap. Remove your cap off the wheel on your right front. You can pump it up. He's holding. It's to the floor. Tighten it up. Pump it up, please. He's holding. To the floor. That looked good. We're going to tighten this down. You can release if you'd like. We're going to clean this up. Let it air dry, and we're going to put our cap back on and go to the left front. We're going to top it off. Take your cap off. Fill it up to the max. There's a line right here, little arrow, and replace the cap.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.